All right, y'all. It's KBR Sports, the best sports talk show 24-hour day. Remember, you guys can always tune in to listen to us on Spreaker, Rabble TV, iTunes, SoundCloud, and also YouTube. And make sure you guys always know that you guys can comment on the Rabblecast so we can read your comments live during the show. Tweet us at KBR_sports, and make sure you follow as well. And make sure you also can always call in and join in on our discussion by calling in at 571-991-0566. Once again, the number is 571-991-0566. But all right, up next, guys, we're going to talk about some former Packers that had some things to say about Aaron Rodgers, and notably was Michael Finley that had some not so gloomy words to say about Aaron Rodgers. This is what he had to say. In my opinion, he's a different guy. I didn't really know how he showed leadership. He wasn't a vocal guy. He really wasn't a hands-on guy. To tell you the truth about his game and his stats, in my opinion, he was a guy that kept it all in. He kept grudges close to his chest. If you did something, he never really let it go. He always kept it close to his heart. I just don't think he was a natural-born leader. He wasn't put on this earth to lead. And for those of you who don't know, also a former Green Bay Packer wide receiver, Jennings, has also made some statements about Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to quote for word, I'm going to paraphrase, but he said things such as Aaron was kind of a to-himself guy on the sidelines. He wasn't really the rah-rah guy, and Aaron has openly admitted to not being that guy. And he said that when Greg Jennings left Green Bay, he went to Minnesota, which is within Green Bay's division, and he was hurt because Aaron didn't exactly stand up and say, hey, we got to keep this guy. And Donovan. So, Nigel, what do you make of Aaron Rodgers' teammates kind of taking jabs at him and criticizing his leadership abilities? Do you think that has a reflection on the Packers' current season?
Nope. I don't. Because the whole topic of, team's doing bad, time to get my 5 minutes of fame and put my words out there. And every single time, it doesn't matter any kind of sport, it doesn't matter what team, it just, every single time a good team starts falling, you get all these kind of, he wasn't really this good, or, he was kind of like this way, I didn't really like that about him. But, I will say this, I'll give Finley credit. I always say stuff while you're on the team. And I give him, this isn't new from him. He said this in 2012, that he said Aaron Rodgers was a good player, but not a leader. Mm-hmm. He also said in 2011 that he and Aaron Rodgers didn't get along because that was Aaron Rodgers' fault. He also said that Aaron Rodgers needs to give me the ball more, and then proceeded to have the third highest drop percentage in the NFL in 12. He says a lot of things. He bragged about being late to breaking curfew for the playoff game against the Cardinals. He's a guy who's had a lot of sound bites and talked a lot about Aaron Rodgers. And so I'm sure, and I'm sure he's in there. He's like, man, as soon as I can start getting bad, I got these hot quotes I'm about to give to this man. And guess what? As soon as they got losing record, man, Aaron Rodgers, whoo, good. I don't like the guy. Yeah. So, do I take anything from it? Not really. I mean, I just take it as two guys who left the team in a bad situation, mm-hmm. and just kind of have sour grapes. That's all I take it as.
Well, I think there is a point to what they're saying, because here's the thing: what's the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Jay Cutler?
Don't do this.
No,
I'm not gonna answer. Not even gonna answer it. Nope.
Why?
Nope. Because I know who you got it from. Not gonna answer it. I'm not even entertaining it.
Just tell me.
Nope.
What's the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco?
Nothing really.
Nothing.
But they're both demeanor-wise. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're both quiet. No. I think Aaron Rodgers is more of an energetic guy than Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is just always, just kind of always, just kind of like, there was one speech that I think Ray Lewis gave one day, and he was like, let's go out and win this game, yeah, and Joe Flacco was just drinking Gatorade, and it was just like the blank flick on his face. And Joe Flacco, I mean, and I don't take that as like a negative or anything. He's just that kind of guy. But Aaron Rodgers is a little more, what's the word I'm looking for?
He's better.
No, I'm just talking about attitude.
But here's the thing: Ray Lewis came out today and criticized Joe Flacco. That's the thing. He criticized Joe Flacco, how Joe Flacco is, and they were teammates on a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, that was ridiculous to me.
Him criticizing Joe?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
But this is what they're talking about.
I'm saying, because you're not a rah-rah kind of guy. I mean, it's like that thing. When you're winning, it's like, oh, well, they're winning because Joe Flacco has this cool demeanor and he doesn't let anything get to him. Then when they're not winning, it's, well, he doesn't care about football. It's like, you can't have it both ways. It's like, he can't be stoic and cool when they're winning and then not football when they're losing. It just doesn't work that way.
But it's one of those things that because the quarterback position is just such it's different than any other position in football. And when your quarterback just isn't, I get it. Not everybody's gonna have the rah attitude and everything like that. But the way that people describe Aaron Rodgers, like he's too cool for school kind of thing. He is to go to Cal, and that's what you tend to hear. That's what the California mantra is. The attitude in California is, and everybody's kind of just, let me chill back, let me relax some, let me just take it easy, kick it. Ain't no worries out here in the sunshine, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how that's how the people deem Aaron Rodgers' personality is. So if you don't see that, and especially when your team is kind of falling down, you see that they're kind of struggling, and you're not the guy that's gonna uplift them. People can kind of use that. Former leaders leave the team possibly. Then you're saying that could be the reason why you're citing as, oh well, this is why they're losing, because those guys, the rah guys, aren't on the team anymore. So it's like, but then when you think about it, the reason why a lot of people have held back on Aaron Rodgers, you could say was because he's been good.
Yeah, he's still good.
No, that's the thing. I think people are over exaggerating.
That's what I looked at his stats earlier today, and I was like, man, all this talk about Aaron Rodgers must be terrible. I was like, he must be doing like garbage. 22 touchdowns, 7 picks, completing 63% passes, which is kind of low for him. But he's not happy. People would kill for that kind of season.
Oh yeah,
and people are talking about like he's about to retire. So it's like, and he's like, and if he was like the biggest problem, if they were doing well in other facets of the game and Aaron Rodgers was holding them back, I'd be like, okay, I kind of understand. They have 43 points on last Sunday. That's not Aaron Rodgers' fault. They put up 35 points. Yeah. That's gonna win you most games.
Yeah.
They put up 30 against the Cowboys. Defense gave up 35. If you want to talk about somebody, you want to complain about somebody, how about we start complaining about the defense first?
And the crazy thing is, Aaron Rodgers did the same exact thing. He played this way in 2013. And it wasn't really, like, he had 17 touchdowns. In 9 games, he had 17 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and nobody really was throwing a big hubbub about it.
It's like, as soon as you start losing, though, well, this guy isn't that good. He's really just a big jerk, but we just tolerant we were winning.
Well, I think it's kind of that because now a lot of unraveling's happening with the Packers. Like now you're starting to hear people talk about him, and then that book on him and Brett Favre came out, the Gunslinger book, where people got a little bit of an in-depth look at Aaron Rodgers, where people said that the first thing he said to Brett Favre when he walked up to him was like, "Hey, Grandpa, this and that, blah blah blah." I mean, dude, that's not how you talk to a quarterback, or like imagine somebody going to Kobe Bryant and saying, "Hey, Grandpa." Imagine if D'Angelo Russell goes. First thing he says to Kobe is, "Hey, friend."
Kobe's seen as just like Kobe's seen as just no fun, hyper basketball. That's all he does in basketball. He doesn't do anything else. Doesn't have friends. Doesn't care about his family. That's all. That's the perception. That's the perception. I'm saying that's the perception of Kobe Bryant. All basketball. Brett Favre didn't have that kind of reputation.
Yeah, that's exactly.
No, he did not.
No, he wasn't the killer competitor.
That's what I'm saying.
But the people believe Brett Favre. All he does is eat and drink
I'm saying,
football.
But I'm talking about mentally. Like he didn't have that Kobe. All I care about is basketball.
But you don't think he would have an ego?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So for you to walk up to him and say "Grandpa," especially if you're the guy that people are talking about, you're going to take his job in the future, and then you're asking.
I'm not saying it was a good idea, but I mean, it's like.
But that's part of his personality. So it's like, doesn't have to be criticized?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, and essentially, I feel like Aaron has gotten by with, because like I asked you at first, what's the difference between him and Joe Flacco? What's the difference between him and Jay Cutler? It's just that he's good. He's good. And his team has been losing. But the thing is, his team has had lower winning percentages each season. But what we kind of attributed it to last season was the fact that, Jordy Nelson's not healthy. So you know what? Maybe when he gets Jordy Nelson back, they'll get back to their winning ways.
Fine, their defense is killing them.
No, but that's the thing that makes no sense. Like, but his completion percentage has dropped each. That's
yes.
They're waiting for it to get back to his average. That's what I'm saying.
He's playing below. I mean, he's not playing to his level, which was, top 3 quarterback level. At the same time, it's like, okay, so he's not a top 3 quarterback anymore. He's top 7 or top 5, whatever you want to put him at. So all of a sudden now that becomes the biggest issue of their team.
Well, I guess because it's like maybe that's what it took for their team to be good, right?
If that's what it took for their team to be good, they got bigger problems than that. Then
I mean, because essentially, if Tom Brady's not a top 3 quarterback, are the Patriots going to still be as good? If Derek Carr is in the top 3 quarterback,
they won with Matt Castle.
They won 11 games. Actually, I think they won 11 games.
He's not a top 3 quarterback.
That season he was. He played like it. As I'm saying, you have to play. Some teams require a player to play at a certain level. In order, if Derek Carr was not playing at the high level he's at right now, you could argue the Raiders would not be 7-2.
No, there's no argument about that.
It's the full on truth.
It's a full. Matt Ryan wasn't playing as well as he was. They'd be bad. And my point is to that. if it relies on you, if your team relies on you playing like a MVP just to be decent, because the Falcons aren't great, the Raiders, they're good. And
well, I mean, if you keep it in contrast to Aaron Rodgers, if your team needs you to play like an MVP, whenever he played like an MVP, this was his team's record. It's 12-4. The season he played 9 games, 6-3, 11-5, 14-1, 10-5, 11-5. Those are his personal records, his quarterback record when he played at that level. So it's like that's his team has the wins have correlated with his play.
Yeah,
the better he's played, the more wins they've had,
and they've had flawed teams.
This team is flawed.
And which
so it's like, can you look at Aaron and point the finger at him?
I'm not saying he's blameless. He deserves some blame because he has dropped his play has dropped. Well, my point is that if you're relying on him single-handedly to carry your team, you have a flawed team. Simple as that.
I feel like you could use that case for a lot of quarterbacks.
You could, and that's just as good to say that maybe NFL teams need to look at building their teams better. There's no reason why Matt Ryan should have a bottom 5. Him and Derek Carr. There's no reason those two should have a bottom 5 defense.
I agree. All right, y'all. We're going to move on to the next topic. We're actually going to transition into the NBA and talk to basketball. Michael Jordan, he was honoring a certain player yesterday, but could he have offended another player and probably been taking a shot at another player while doing it? Stay tuned to find out who it is on KBR Sports, y'all, the best sports talk show your 24-hour day.